A dream scenario was once on the table for WrestleMania, and it involved none other than the Texas Rattlesnake himself, Stone Cold Steve Austin. But like many things in WWE, that vision was eventually scrapped. Thanks to the new Netflix documentary series WWE Unreal, fans now have insight into a major behind-the-scenes plan that never came to fruition. The docuseries pulls back the curtain on several creative discussions and reveals that Steve Austin was penciled in for WrestleMania, though not in the way many expected. The card itself went through multiple iterations, and Austin's role shifted dramatically over time. When examining the state of WWE leading up to this WrestleMania, everything was in transition. The company was evolving, characters were being reshuffled, and returning legends like The Rock added chaos to long-laid plans. Austin himself has since opened up about his physical condition going into that time period, admitting that he was only operating at about 35% physically. He just wasn't in shape to wrestle a match. That revelation alone shed light on why WWE never seriously planned for him to compete at that particular WrestleMania. Even before this documentary, fans knew Austin hadn't competed since WrestleMania 38, where he came out of retirement in his home state of Texas to face Kevin Owens in what started as a segment but turned into an actual match. Both Owens and Austin have been candid about how fluid those plans were. Going into the show, neither man knew for certain what would happen. It was designed to be flexible, with Austin having final say on whether it would be a full match, a fight, or just a segment capped with a stunner. That performance was customized to accommodate what Austin felt capable of doing on that particular night. Fast forward to WrestleMania 39, WWE wanted Austin again, but scheduling got in the way. Austin had existing obligations with an A/E show and couldn't commit to performing, though he was interested. The timing didn't align. Since then, he has spoken openly about how he feels like his time performing in the ring may be done for good, and he's comfortable with that. So, the question became, what was WWE trying to do with Steve Austin at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas? The answer, as revealed by WWE Unreal, comes from behind-the-scenes footage showing the inner workings of WWE's creative planning. The documentary often features whiteboards filled with match ideas for various events, from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. During one of those scenes, a snapshot of a proposed WrestleMania 41 card appeared, and on it was a surprising plan involving Steve Austin. Rather than wrestling, he was initially intended to serve as the special guest referee in a singles match between Braun Breaker and Drew McIntyre. That idea eventually changed. Instead of facing Drew in a one-on-one bout, Braun ended up in a fatal four-way match, and WWE pivoted their creative direction for Drew as well. As for Austin, he ended up making an appearance anyway, driving an ATV into the stadium and accidentally crashing into the barricade while announcing the WrestleMania attendance figure. That stunt, humorous as it was, became Austin's big moment on the show. Also interestingly, WWE Unreal exposed other scrapped plans, including original ideas for Roman Reigns. Initially, Roman was slated to face Seth Rollins in a singles match. Then WWE modified it by inserting CM Punk into the mix, creating a triple threat. One variation even had Paul Heyman betraying Punk and Roman, with Punk emerging victorious. Those alternative paths show how fluid WWE's booking can be, with plans often rewritten until the very last moment. But going back to the Austin situation, it's clear he was always expected to be present in some form. After all, he lives in Nevada, just a short distance from Las Vegas, so attending the show wasn't a logistical stretch. Even before being officially invited, Austin hinted that he was open to appearing. Eventually, WWE brought him in, and he participated in a newly announced Hall of Fame segment that honored matches rather than just individual wrestlers. His legendary submission bout with Bret Hart from WrestleMania 13 was inducted into this new Hall of Fame wing. That moment provided another highlight for Austin fans and solidified his presence at the event. Austin has been involved in numerous special referee roles throughout his career, and it wouldn't have been out of the ordinary for him to fill that role again. So, why didn't it happen? One logical explanation is that Austin simply wasn't physically ready. He had undergone knee replacement surgery in December 2024, just 4 months before WrestleMania 41. That kind of operation takes a serious toll on the body, and Austin has said himself that he was far from 100%. He acknowledged that driving the ATV into the barricade was an accident and chalked it up to not being fully recovered. Considering his age and history of injuries, it makes sense that he might not want to risk testing his knee in a live segment with high expectations. Performing in front of a packed stadium under intense scrutiny after a major surgery isn't a scenario many would sign up for. He's talked about those limitations and seems self-aware enough to know when to draw the line. It's not about pride, it's about realism. From a creative standpoint, having Austin serve as a referee in a match featuring Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker could have added an extra layer of intrigue. Braun, who has undergone a roller coaster of character shifts from babyface to heel and back again, was gaining momentum as a fan favorite around this time. Drew had been leaning into his heel persona, so the dynamic would have worked well. Austin in the middle as a neutral enforcer could have given the match some additional flavor. But there are still unanswered questions. Did Austin turn down the referee spot? Or was it a WWE decision to remove him from that role once plans shifted? Perhaps they felt it wasn't worth risking anything with his health still in recovery. Maybe they wanted to simplify things and focus on different stories. Either way, it's interesting to speculate. We've seen Austin make cameo appearances and work these types of segments many times over the years. But things change. What he was willing to do 10 or 20 years ago might not be feasible anymore. WrestleMania is a massive event with high stakes, and he likely didn't want to deliver a lackluster performance or compromise his health. Whether the final decision was his or WWE's, it's fair to assume it was made with caution. Despite not doing anything physical, Austin still had a presence at the show. He got a big pop from the crowd, drove his ATV, participated in the Hall of Fame presentation, and reminded fans of his legacy. Sometimes, that's more than enough. Wrestling fans don't always need the legend to lace up his boots. Just seeing him, hearing the glass shatter, and watching him soak in the moment can be satisfying. As the documentary reveals, the planning for WrestleMania is far more chaotic and improvisational than many fans realize. Ideas get pitched, scratched, and reimagined constantly. Superstars come in and out of the picture. New signings or injuries can upend everything. Austin was just one piece of a larger puzzle, and his role, however small, was still appreciated. There's also the reality that Braun Breaker and Drew McIntyre have had very different journeys. Braun, a rising star with immense potential, is still finding his place on the main roster. Drew, a veteran who's been through multiple reinventions, has been more established. Pairing them together with a legend like Austin could have elevated the match, but it wasn't essential. The show carried on, and WWE found other ways to use both men. In retrospect, everything worked out. Austin got his moment, fans were satisfied, and WrestleMania 41 delivered in its own way. Maybe that referee spot would have been memorable, maybe it would have been forgettable. Either way, WWE made the call that felt right under the circumstances, and for fans of the Texas Rattlesnake, just getting to see him on the biggest stage in wrestling again, whether in a match, a promo, or even a Hall of Fame segment is often enough. At the end of the day, WWE is in the business of creating moments. Austin has given the fans more than their share over the decades. While this WrestleMania didn't give us a new match or even a dramatic in-ring angle, it gave us something else, a reminder of why Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the most beloved figures in WWE history. His presence still commands attention, even if he's just revving an ATV and grinning at the crowd. And sometimes, that's all you need.